Hey guys, how's it going? It is going to be such a gorgeous day today. We are about to cool down. We had a crazy heat spell that came through and it killed some things and it stressed out a lot of plants. We were in the 80s and it was really nice, and then we hit 105 and it was not really nice, and now we're cooling back down into the 90s and 80s. So today is the beginning of our cool down, which is really exciting. And Brent had came through and he touched up the back side of this bed. He recapped it. There was like 1x on there, and we ended up going with 2x4s on the very top of this bed, so the bed looks better. And then I just planted the meant to be royal raspberry agastache, and 2 of them didn't make it. Yeah. So I'm hoping that the tops just died off and that the roots are okay and that the roots will push some new growth. That is my hope. If not, it's okay. The one that made it is right here, and so that'll still be a really beautiful size like shrub right there. If it doesn't make it, it's okay. I probably will end up ordering some more because I really, really want this plant. So we will just wait and see until probably another couple weeks and see what happens, and then I'll plan to order some in the springtime. But my plan for today is to get some plants done in this bed that we did. I just want to fill this area out. I just want to deck it out with plants, and so I'm really excited to have another space that is, ready to get planted. Ignore the dying grass, okay? It was dead when I planted it. I'm just hoping it comes back. I am seeing some life come into this area, into that plant. Anyways, let me show you guys what I have for today. I have 2 plants right here. This is the Opening Act Pink Dot Phlox right here. And then I have the Magic Wands Pink Potion Veronica or Speedwell. And this is a gorgeous, gorgeous combo. So let me show you guys what I'm thinking. So I noticed in this photo of the Speedwell, there's Dicentra down here, and then that's a Phlox. So I noticed that they have them kind of like staggered behind each other. And so what I'm thinking is I'm going to take the pink potion and I'm going to plant these, and then behind it I'm going to do the Phlox, but I'm still going to leave a little bit more room to do something in the front, maybe some type of sedum, maybe a Dicentra, anything like that. So I'm really, really excited about this. I love Veronica. I love Speedwell. I think that they're such a cool and unique plant, and the bees go crazy for them. And then I'm also going to be planting the Opening Act Pink Polka Dot. This one gets about 26 inches tall and probably a little bit wider than that. And it's a very bright colored plant. And then I'll still have plenty enough room to plant taller things even behind that, which is really, really cool little plant. I'm really excited about this Phlox. I love Phlox. So they're both growing zones. I think it's 4 through 8. Yeah, growing zones 4 through 8. The Phlox gets a little bit taller, 36 inches, and then the Speedwell gets 22 inches. They want full sun. Here are the specs if you guys wanted to take a screenshot of that or pause and read. So I think it's going to be gorgeous in this area and lend to some more pops of color, some more brighter colors. I'm trying to add an array of color in here. I have some corals, I have some pinks, I have some reds, I have some purples, and now we're adding like this like soft white color and then more pinks, because pinks are just easy for me to grab and add into my garden for some reason. So that is the plan today, is to just get those planted. And yeah, so let me turn the camera around and we'll kind of place everything and adjust placement, and then we'll get to planting. So this is the Phlox right here, and these are the blooms. And I think that they're a little more pale right now because they're in these containers, and they've been in these containers for a very, very long time. Normally they have a darker center, and the center right now is very, very light. And these are usually more pink, and right now they're very, very white. This isn't like a true representation, but they do have flowers coming. So they've got buds here. I see buds over here, buds here. So these guys are ready to be in the ground, I'm sure of it. And then these are the Speedwell. And we're just not gonna judge a book by its cover, okay? It's fine. So this is a like healthier looking one, but I can see that there is like growth coming down at the very bottom, especially on this one right here. See all the growth down there? So I know that these will flush back, and like this one is the worst of the bunch. We'll see if it comes back. That one's gonna get planted somewhere where if it doesn't make it, it'll be fine, and probably same for this one, but I do see growth coming at the base of this. So these should rebound. They're just clearance plants is what we'll call them. Before we get to planting, I wanted to give you guys a little bit of an update on our chickens right here. So we have now 4 chickens. We had 5 chickens. We ended up getting rid of one of them. Oh, Mama's, okay. So this right here is Mama. She is the sweetest chicken. I'm gonna work through this train. We've had her for 5 years now, a little over 5 years, and she's always broody and she's always so sweet. She's so docile. And she was getting just destroyed by one of the chickens. I had an idea who it was, but I wasn't sure. It was picking on a few of the other chickens. It was definitely picking on Mama, and it was eating all of our eggs. So once we got rid of that chicken, it's been a couple weeks now, and we still have eggs, and Mama is looking so much better now, and all of her feathers were gone on her chest, and now they're all back, and she's still kind of coming out of it. She still has some that still have the, like, is it keratin all around them? So she's still molting, and she is doing a lot better though. And so all of our other chickens are also doing better, and we're gonna let Mama roam today with us while I go ahead and do a little bit of planting. We're gonna let her get some outside time. We usually don't let our chickens out because we do have some hawks in the area, and also they're just very destructive in flower beds. But Mama's kind of our favorite chicken. We've had her, like I said, for 5 years, so we just try to let her out every once in a while. She's a good chicken. So she's just gonna hang out, find some grubs. You can see all her feathers on her feet. All the feathers on one of her feet were totally gone, and both feet have come back with feathers. So she's just gonna hang out and find a few things. You can see how tiny she is. Like, she barely fits to the size of that flower bed right there, and that's a very short flower bed. She's a tiny, tiny chicken. Now that we have those all planted, that is going to be so great right there. I'm gonna go in with these little spike mats right here. These are to train the dogs. They look a little wicked. Okay, that's gross. These are to help train the dogs to not go in this bed. And so they're these plastic spikes, and they just kind of like bend over if the dogs do step on them, but they don't feel good. So it trains the dogs to not go in the areas that you don't want them to. So I'm just gonna kind of like intersperse them into this section here, and that'll help keep the dogs out of this area, because this is a brand new bed, and so they're super used to being able to go right up to the fence right here. This area is one of our neighbor's properties, and Freya loves to go to the fence when she's getting in her car, getting out of her car, leaving, and all that stuff. So I want to put these little spike mats down to help start training to keep her out of this area. They have worked fabulous. We've had these ones for 5 years now, 4 years. How old is Freya? 4. We got these when we got her. So these are 4 years old, and they have been amazing. They just kind of link together. You can cut them to different sizes. These are individual pieces, and you see these little pieces right here. They all link together. Let me show you guys how they link together if you need to do like a big swath of them. So you can see these all kind of link together, and you can put them so they all attach to one another like this, and then it can make one continuous mat. So that way you don't have to worry about like them blowing away or anything like that. And then we normally go in with a couple landscape staples just to tack it down into the landscape. That way it doesn't move or anything like that. And so they're really great pieces, and they all just lock together. Planted all the pretty plants, and then we put down these ugly spikes, but it's okay. It's just temporary. It usually takes just a couple of weeks before the dogs learn, do not go in this area. That's kind of what we did with all of this area here. I would just line the fronts in small sections, and they would slowly learn, don't go in this area. It doesn't feel good. I don't like when I go in that area. So this is kind of what we do, and it works. And as we do more planting and stuff, I will just kind of continue to move these throughout this bed. So it is a really effective way to keep dogs and cats out of areas. I've even seen some people who take these inside and they bring them inside for their indoor planters for their cats. And what you can do is you can go with like a light layer of mulch to cover most of it, but the spikes still spike up. And so when the cats step on it, they don't like the feel of it. So I've seen people do that where they just cut this to the shape of the pot and to cut out like a hole for the planter, and then it makes it so your animals don't go in there. And that's kind of what we're doing here. It's just basically the same thing. So these work really, really well. Really is great to keep animals off of this. If you have cats, dogs, whatever, going in your bed, using areas. I had seen somebody who took these exact same ones and they bought a ton of them. They had an area that was by their front door where some of the neighborhood dogs were coming, and the neighborhood dogs would come to their yard and they would poop in their front yard by their front door. And so what they did is they took a whole bunch of these spikes, they laid them down, and then they lightly covered it with mulch so you could see them, but not very well. And when the dogs would step on it, obviously it didn't feel good. So she said it took her about 3 weeks to get it so the dogs would stop going in that area, and they fully stopped, and she never had an issue after that. So highly recommend this. Like I said, we just bought 1 pack of these and we've had them for 5 years. I could probably do with like another pack, but these do work really well, and the dogs learn pretty quickly. So now that we have those all done, I just want to come in with some type of ground cover. I think like a lemon coral sedum would be really pretty, or something like that, just very low growing that can handle full sun. And then eventually I'll come in with the metal edging right here. And I think I'm going to go in with I think it's the shortest one that they offer, because that's what we do for most of our landscape. That's actually what we've done for all of our landscape. So that's what we're going to do here, is the short one. I think I have the middle size one in our front yard, and I don't have any of the tallest of their landscape. So they've got 3 different sizes. So this will just be the shortest one, just to kind of like create like a short border. I don't want it to like be this big, huge, massive piece. But the plan is in this center swoop that we're doing here, whenever we get to it, is to do the very tall border that they have. That's kind of the goal, is to make it so that this is like mounded up a little bit. You just wandered into the video a little bit there, buddy. How? What were you doing? filming, but all we see is your legs.
Oh my god.
There he goes. So the plan is to do this middle section here with the tall metal edging, and then we're going to do the short metal edging for the edging of the entire property. Yeah, so that's the plan. I do think this is going to be so gorgeous though, with the Veronica right here and kind of like drifting a little bit, and then the Phlox behind that. I think that that's going to be really, really pretty. We did go in and added just one more bit of irrigation. This is the 1/4 inch irrigation with the irrigation every 6 inches. This section here for these couple plants was pretty dry, and so we decided just add a little more irrigation, and that should help with some of the problems that we're having. This is a very new bed to us, so we got to figure out the irrigation fully. And I think that that is going to be it for this video. Pretty successful day, pretty easy day, and we got it all done before it got too hot, because we are still warm, but it is starting to cool down, luckily. So I hope that you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you guys for visiting our garden, and if you haven't had a chance to, maybe today's the day that you hit that subscribe button. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye guys. Are you ready to go back in, Mama? I'm gonna take that as a no. She's pretty happy.